Well, today I'm planning on doing a little something different. I'm going to go and explore the bush here, which is actually running some cattle, and I'm going to see what species of ants that I can find out here on this beautiful property. Let's go! So yes, a beautiful property here. We've got lots of trees and just the scrub and bushland. It's very dry, as you can see right here though. They definitely need some rain for the cattle for something to eat, but there should be some life here, so let's see what we can find in the bush. The first thing that I came across in the open paddock was this. Does anybody know what it is? Well, it's the famous meat ants, and you can really see the colony is standing out. We've got the pile of little rocks in there, and what you can see is actually a trail of ants running back and forwards from the mound. And they've made these little pathways, or highways even, that you can see. It really is amazing. Meat ants are an amazing species, and their colonies are huge. Thousands and thousands of workers teeming away. And here we go. The mound is not a particularly high mound, but as you can see, it is just barren. They've removed all of the grass and twigs and sticks and everything like that, and all they have is this little mound with all of these rocks all over it. Now apparently the rocks are to do with moderating the temperature. It can soak in the heat on a cold day and keep the nest and mound warm. So I believe it's something to do with moderating the temperature. Very interesting anyway, but as you can see here, so many ants. This is quite a large colony, one of the larger ones that I have seen. I have seen bigger, but boy, there would be thousands, hundreds of thousands of workers in a colony like this. And you can see the little highways running off, where they've continually cleared the path so they can move around the bushland nice and easily. Fantastic to see a colony like this. And look at the activity. It doesn't take long, and they know my presence is there, and they begin swarming. They do not want any intruders around their nest. Now this particular species, the Iridomyrmex perpeus, the meat ants here, they do not have a sting. All they do is bite, but they are very ferocious and they swarm. Their bite is not particularly painful at all, but you will know about it if you do get bitten. Just amazing. Now on a nearby tree, I found these two workers scurrying about on a eucalyptus tree. Now this appears to be a Calomyrmex species of some sort. And they look like they're performing trophallaxis, just sharing a little bit of food from a social stomach. Very interesting. Nice species. And down below the tree, I stumbled upon this worker. Beautiful colouring, the green-headed ant, or Rhytidopanera metallica. But this is the one we're all interested in. I was wondering if I'd find these, and this is a colony of Myrmecia brevinoda. Massive workers. You can see all of the dirt just piled up and dug out of the ground and stuffed around this big clump of grass that was there. It was quite hard to see, and stumbled across it really, just seeing a little bit of a mound, and was wondering what was there. But the workers swarm out knowing my presence is there. These are not a species you want to be stung by. They are massive. The workers can get up to 40 millimeters long. That is huge. That's 1.5 inches long. This is a colony that I have in my collection, which is really nice to have, but they are something very scary. And you can see how they swarm and the size of them. But that beautiful, nice red colour with a black tip. Now, not far away from that again, I lifted up some rocks and some scrub, and I found a colony of Rhytidopanera metallica again, some green-headed ants. And in this beautiful sunshine, you can really see those colours coming out. Those really metallic-y, greeny colours. Just beautiful, beautiful species. Now, as I scanned around the bushland again, I noticed this rather large mound. Does anybody know what this is? Well, this is a small mound compared to how big some of them can get. Let's have a closer look. It is a termite mound. Now, some of you may know what termites are like and the destruction they can cause here in Australia with wood and just destroying homes. But this particular species has really small mouth parts and is not the sort that eats the timber in your homes. But nevertheless, it is a termite, and they do like to eat the wood and the leafy matters. As you can see here, these orangey ones are more of the soldier style to defend the nest, and the really translucenty white workers that are running around are the ones that do the work. So interesting to see, plenty of tunnels all the way through this. They regulate their temperature within the mound. Quite an amazing thing. I don't know much about termites though, but very amazing. Well, it looks like the cows have come to visit. Obviously interested on us and want to follow us around and see what we're up to. How nice. Plenty of cattle here in Australia. Well, I kept having a look, and we went back over to the cattle yards where they put the stock in, and we found one of the posts here again with another colony of termites in it. And you can see some of the damage they've done here, eating away the timber from in behind, and then they regurgitate up the pulpy wood. It looks here sort of like dirt piled up in here, and you can see these workers here. Now the workers don't last too long in the sunshine, so they'll be scurrying away and finding somewhere nice and dark to hide very soon. But you can see even the destruction in some of the timber here, this hardwood. No match for termites. They do love to eat. Very close to that though, we stumbled upon another colony of Rhytidoponera metallica, these green-headed ants. So I lifted up the stone here and noticed some of these cocoons, which was amazing just to see. And if you ever get a chance, I really do recommend these species. Now they do sting, it's quite a painful sting, nothing like a bull ant, but quite painful. You will know about it. But one thing that's really good about these species is they cannot climb slippery or smooth surfaces, so quite easy to contain in an outworld or a nest. Really nice species though, beautiful colouring, really are amazing. So nice to see a few different species in this area. Now as we kept walking, I also noticed this on the tree. Anybody know what this is? It was really quite camouflaged, and just happened to spot it as I walked past. This beautiful lizard. Now I believe this is a frill-necked lizard of some sort, but isn't it beautiful? Look at all those spines over it, keeping itself nice and flat against the tree so it cannot be noticed. Just amazing. So much wildlife here in Australia, and even in this dry bush you wouldn't think there'd be much life, but there's plenty here to enjoy. Well, walking around a bit more of the scrubland and this trees area here, wondering what else I could find. Not many mounds or anything, but down at the base of one of the trees I noticed some dirt that looked like it had been dug up. Closer examination here, and it looks like we've got another colony of ants. What have we got this time? I can see the entrances here quite large. This looks like another colony of bull ants. Let's see if I can disturb it and just see if I can get a worker to come out and see what sort of species it is. Always need to be very careful how many different entrance holes there are so nothing sneaks up on you as well. There we go, look at that. There's another worker, and it is a Myrmecia brevinoda. So another colony. This one is probably a good 100 or so meters away from the other colony. But look at that, you wouldn't be able to tell very much, would you? Just a few little entrance holes, a little bit of dirt dug up. Wow. So amazing to have bull ants. We really are blessed in Australia as ant keepers by having bull ants in many different varieties. And there it is. You wouldn't really recognise it there at the base of the tree, would you? I'm sure the cows would notice if they were sniffing around for some grass. But wow, really can see how well hidden they are. Now the Myrmecia brevinoda, again, they pack a mighty sting, They've got those jaws or mandibles at the front which really latch on to their prey, and then they curl their abdomen around with their stinger, and yeah, sting, and it's very painful. I haven't been stung by a Myrmecia brevinota yet. I'm sure it's coming as I have my own colony. They're probably going to get me one day, but I try and behave myself and take a lot of care when I'm around bull ants like this. But you can see how alert they are. They can see me, they can see the stick, they've got those really big eyes which they can track movement of any sort, and here it is, and you can see that abdomen curling around there to have a sting. Look at that. Yeah, that's not something you want to mess with. Now I'm surprised there's only a couple of workers that have come out, quite timid. Maybe it's a fairly young colony and they don't want to come out, but that's fine. I don't want to disturb them, I don't want to destroy the nest or anything like that. Beautiful. Ooh, that even jumped. I think she jumped at us that time. Get a little bit cranky, these couple of workers. Well, I'm going to move on from this colony. Our day's nearly up, but let's see what else we can find. There's a slightly different area here of more thicker trees, sort of a pine forest here, and a lot of pine needles on the ground. And I'm going to go and have a look around here and see if there's something a little bit different in amongst these trees, a different sort of species perhaps that we can find. Again, there doesn't look to be too much life. But here we have a mound. I found a mound. Didn't take too long. And look at the piles of these needles from the pine tree. Again, not the easiest thing to see here, but definitely some life, and we've got a rather large hole there. I'm thinking we might have another colony of bull ants. I'll just give it a little bit of a tap to see if we can waken them up and see what's inside. Again, I don't want to destroy the nest and do too much damage, but we'll have a little bit of a look and just maybe take the top off. Here we go, it's on. They're on the boil, so to speak, and out they come. It's another colony of Myrmecia brevinota, so this property certainly has a brevinota problem. Not necessarily a problem, probably quite a good thing too. A little bit of a dig in there, and let's see what we can find. See how big this nest is. It looks like quite a big colony here though, and we can see lots of those workers coming out. Now just on the top there wouldn't be too much as far as the colony's concerned with larvae or eggs or cocoons or anything like that. That'll be down a lot deeper. Wow, but look at how many there are in here. This certainly would be a big colony. They're starting to pour out now. This is not something you'd want to trip over and fall on for sure. Just amazing though, just amazing to be able to see the species in the wild and see what sort of areas they inhabit. And we've got 3 different areas that I found them in, just on this small area. So there we go, how nice it is to have a look around to the property, do a little bit of ant hunting, not looking for queens, but just looking to see what sort of species I could find on this beautiful piece of Australian bush. I hope you enjoyed. For as little as $1 a month, you can support the channel and you'll get early access to videos, behind the scenes information, and plenty of other perks on different levels as well. So I really appreciate your support. Thank you very much. Well, none of these videos would be possible without my wonderful Patreon, so thank you very much Medical Carcass 9, Gordon C, Ant Nation, The Dragon Bloom, and Scooter 231. Well, if you've got this far and you haven't subscribed to the video, please do so. I'd really appreciate it. There's a video there recommended for you by YouTube, and one that I picked that I think you might really enjoy. Thanks for watching, and happy ant keeping.